This video is for the filmmakers who think differently, the ones passionate about creating meaningful content and making it work financially. If that's you, become a YouTube member. I set up Filmmaker Alchemy for you. It's where I dive into the nitty-gritty, leveraging tools like Lumix cameras, balancing client work with passive income, and avoiding burnout while growing your craft. It's not about flashy numbers or viral hits, it's about building a sustainable, fulfilling career in production. If that resonates with you, become a member today and get access to exclusive content that'll help you succeed. I want to make a case for internal ND filters. This came up in a comment I saw on a recent video of why would internal NDs be such a deal breaker considering the way I shoot. If I'm a hybrid style videographer, photographer, cinematographer, whatever it is, why do I need internal ND filters? Why don't I just do it the way I do with external ND filters? And there's a few reasons for that I want to go through and why I find it kind of irritating that I even have to make this case. It's almost like making the case for shutter angle or open gate. These things that people don't have, that they're not familiar with, and they think, well, like, why do you even care? But the moment you have it, you realize how great it is. For me, internal ND filters go all the way back to the DVX 100, the HVX 200, certainly on things like the Ursa Mini, this more documentary, broadcast, run and gun style where you need ND filters at the flip of a switch, at the flip of a dial. That's very, very helpful when you're out in reality, when you're shooting outside and you need to go inside. And so it's always been a thing on kind of news broadcast style cameras, but for the longest time, cinema cameras, it was always thought, well, you have a matte box and that's how you put ND in front of your camera. A very slow, methodical way of shooting where you have your AC who can bring something over and help you out, swapping a lens, putting a filter in place, and you can just, well, yes, that works in Hollywood, but that doesn't work in the day-to-day for all of us. So if you've been shooting hybrid like I have for the last 10 plus years, you're probably very familiar with ND filters. Obviously, if you're shooting video and you're following proper shutter speed, shutter angle rules or conventions, you know that you need ND filters, especially if you're filming outside. They're the sunglasses for the camera. The fourth part of that exposure diamond is your ND. How much neutral density are you adding to make sure that your exposure is proper? Now, you can do it with external ND filters with a matte box or something like that, but that's kind of big, it's kind of clunky, it's more to rig, and so I think a lot of people have opted for the screw-in filters. Now, they do have newer ND filters that are magnetized. I haven't tested those myself. I kind of think it's interesting in theory, but there's not too much wrong with screwing a filter on and off. It doesn't bother me all that much. But for the longest time, the variable NDs, the kind of the dial, became the new standard, the easy way, the quick shortcut for doing ND filters where you can just use a very ND. And very popular. There's plenty of them out there. They still make them to this day. I'm sure plenty of people still use them. But I got to that point where I stopped using variable NDs because they caused too many issues with polarization. You see, a variable ND is just two polarizers. That's all it is. And that effect can change how the sky looks, how skin tones look, and it can make things look a little odd, a little off, a little not quite what you're after. So there's some consequences of using, negative consequences, I should say, of using variable ND filters. So that's kind of a no-go for me. Is it easier? Yes, it is easier, but it also compromises the footage quality or the image quality, and I don't want that. So I have static ND filters. Now, what you can do is they make, and I'll put a link to one in the description because they're kind of hard to find for whatever reason, but they make these really nice or convenient swing away filters that kind of flip in front of the lens. You just have to look at it. I think they're called the Rapid Filter System. There are plenty different, Chinese companies that make them. I don't know of a brand name one. They're just whatever on Amazon. They're really cheap, and basically you can put an ND filter and just flip it away whenever you don't need it. Very, very helpful if you're in that reality TV documentary style where you might be outside to inside and then back out again. Weddings could be a helpful scenario for this where you're going in and out outdoors. But the problem there is that you're fixed to that one ND. So maybe outside it's ND64, but if you came inside, maybe you'd want like an ND4, ND8, depending on what you're doing, but you only have the one option. So it's kind of works, it's kind of helpful, but it's also not the perfect solution. The perfect solution is to do what has always worked for broadcast, for news, for whoever. And it's funny that these features became more popular in the Blackmagic cameras, the Ursa cameras having built-in NDs. Is that moment where, yes, you can have a film camera, you can have a cinema camera that has NDs built into it. What's the downside? What's the problem? there really isn't one, other than the fact that like you have an option that maybe you don't want or maybe you don't need, but who cares? Just don't use it. But the fact that it's there is so helpful when you do need it. It's less to clean, it's less to maintain. You know, filters get dirty, they get smudged, you're constantly changing them. It's more to keep track of. If it's all built right in the camera, that's amazing. And nowadays, we have these electronic NDs that are less of the filter dial and more of an electronic way to control the camera. Something like, I believe the FX6 from Sony has this, where it's just an electronic ND in the camera. We should be able to do this with hybrids. There's no reason not to. And yes, the convenience, the cost savings is like a 1% increase in terms of convenience. It's not going to change the world. It's not going to make your life that much easier, but it will help 1% if you're not having to switch filters, if you don't have to get some kind of filter swap thing, you don't have to set up a matte box. Just having it built right in, like our aperture, like our ISO, like our shutter. We need NDs internally on these cameras. And there is room for it, as Sony has proved with their E-mount design, where they can fit an electronic ND in there. I want the same thing on these hybrid photography cameras as well, because it takes it that one step further and finally pushes it past that mark where there's no reason not to use them. There is no clear benefit of something like an Ursa Mini or any other documentary like FX9 or something like that, where you need those more like broadcast features, certainly on the inputs and outputs if you like all the buttons. But if you like the simplicity of a photography camera, you can just hold in your hands, keep it super lightweight if you want, rig it out if you want, doesn't matter. You kind of pick how you design it. For me, I found a balance somewhere in between. The only thing I'm still missing is those internal NDs. And they're such a no-brainer. I don't know why everyone isn't asking for it. Why isn't it just this is what we should have? Oh, well, I don't need it. Okay, well, I don't always need open gate, but I'm glad it's there. I don't always need shutter angle. Can I deal with shutter speed at a minor inconvenience? Yeah, I can deal with it. It's not a deal breaker, but it certainly is a minor irritant that I don't have, that clearly there's solutions for, that other cameras do have. And I don't really see the reason not to have it at this point in time, other than cost or manufacturing capability, engineering. I'm not an engineer, so I can't solve the problem myself. But there's plenty of other people out there who I think could. They could come up with something better than what we have that would still help with photography as well, because there's plenty of times as a photographer, you want an ND filter to drag that shutter, to get those light streaks, and you can't always do that and maintain a proper exposure without ND filters. So it's not a video exclusive thing. It's more applicable to video people and cinematographers, but it's also applicable to photographers as well. And I think at this point in time, I don't know why it's a question of why I'm asking for it, because I think that should be obvious. But people are asking, why is a hybrid shooter? Why not just shoot with an FX9? Why not shoot with an Ursa Mini? Because they're big, they're bulky, they're clunky. I'd rather have something small and compact that can take a photo just as easily as it can shoot a video. But I also want it to have internal NDs, so I'm not switching filters. Because I am using NDs, they're just obviously not built into the cameras yet. I think Canon, some version, is it the C70 or whatever, the C80? I think Canon has a semi-hybrid that has internal NDs to some degree. I can't verify that. I don't know enough about those cameras to actually say for certain. But they are kind of out there. It's starting to trickle its way through all the things. But I don't know. To me, it's the same thing as, way back when people are saying, well, why do you need 4K? 1080p is enough. You don't need 4K. Are you delivering 4K? Why would you want 4K? In hindsight, now it's like a no-brainer. Could you imagine a camera coming out that didn't do at least 4K nowadays? Like, it's crazy. It's absurd. But when people didn't have it and the standard was 1080p, and you had everyone arguing over whether you don't even need 4K, you can't even see the difference. So what? Wouldn't you just like to have it? Wouldn't it just be a nice thing to add? How is that? Doesn't make it worse to have more resolution. It doesn't make the camera worse to have an internal ND filter. It's just an extra feature, an extra bells and whistle. There's plenty of features in these cameras that I don't use. Things like the actual, there's like live filters, like little color effects you can do. It has tons of different color profiles that I hardly ever touch. So many little bells and whistles and features and functions. But I'm not mad that they're there. It might help somebody else. ND filters are so common, so obvious. Everyone who's shooting video is using them. So why not just make it that much easier and build it right in? Aside from saying, well, no one needs it. Everyone's using them. Buying filters on Amazon, constantly smudging them up, getting them dirty, getting them stuck. You know, if they're threading them on, coming up with magnetic solutions, coming up with this and that, and finding better versions. Just build them in. We've done it before on other cameras, but yet for whatever reason, it's just, I don't know, neglected, not thought, well, no one needs that. Well, then I'm going to keep screaming at the top of my lungs to say we need internal ND filters. Make it happen. It can be electronic. It doesn't need to be a dial wheel if there's no room for the physical filter. I get it. Electronic ND, right in the mount. It has been done. It can be done. I think just more people need to make noise about what they want instead of just suffering through switching filters all day long. You can make it work. You can do that if you want. But like, why would you want to? If it's built right in. And you could still use the external ones if you prefer the matte box. Then just leave your internal NDs off. But they're there if you need them. And guaranteed, there's going to be that like 1% of the time, the 5% of the time where you're glad it's there. It's a safety feature. It's like, oh, shoot. Yeah, this camera can do a time lapse. I don't need to do time lapses all day, every day, but I'm glad the cameras are capable of doing time lapses from time to time. Same thing with slow motion, with the high frame rates. There's so many little things that you don't need them all the time, and it may not even be the main thing that you do or need. But it's still good that it's there.